6 months ago I made a video talking about how design of Strife was a waste of potential. Apparently AG thought as much because they released Vector Breakthrough on the same day. It takes the core idea from design of Strife, fighting a progressively stronger and more complicated boss, but it irons out some of its biggest flaws. For those of you that never played Design of Strife, the reason it was so negatively received is mostly because it was hard as shit. The enemy stats were insanely high. You had buffs that were supposed to help balance that out, but the mode itself incentivized you not to use those buffs, and they didn't even seem that good anyway. In order to unlock the next stage, you had to do the last one with no buffs, so you got stuck fighting some CC level stat bloat without any buffs. The buff system got heavily reworked in Vector Breakthrough. First, you no longer get penalized for using the buffs. You can abuse them as much as you like, and you can still get all the rewards. Second, the buffs themselves are more interesting. Sure, we have the generic stat increase, and that's fine, but there are also a variety of buffs that interact with the event boss's mechanics. Rosmo drops these things on your operators, and they are sometimes present at the start of the stage. If an enemy picks them up, they get a massive buff. If you try to hit these things, they do AoE true damage to your operators, but if you break them, all operators in the AoE get a massive number of buffs depending on the buffs you have unlocked. The minimum ones are attack, health and damage reduction. With full buffs you can also get SP, health regen and some other stuff. It's a good mechanic that can buff both enemies and your operators, so you are very incentivized to pawn around it. My favorite buff is the 2 shields on deploy. You can nuke it so much against high damage enemies. But the boss itself doesn't get completely cheesed, because Rosmo is still a flinger and has multi-hit. The only thing I'm unsure of is how you unlock the buffs. You clear a side stage with a small amount of operators, you get the buff for all the normal stages, but you can't use those operators in the event again. I don't dislike this kind of system on paper. Trading one kind of strategic resource for another is something I'd enjoy in a roguelike, but I'm not sure it works well for a gacha. My account is old as shit, so losing a few operators to get the buffs doesn't hamper me in any way. So for older players it's just a gimmick. On the other hand, it makes the event extremely difficult for a new player, because they can't get the buffs without using up key operators they might need to fight the main stages. It seems like it would only be a meaningful trade-off that isn't crippling for a very narrow range of the player base. But maybe I'm overthinking this. Maybe the system is meant for older players who clear every stage with the same 12 6 stars, because there is no incentive not to. Now they will need to think what operator to bring to the side stages. In any case, apart from trolling new players with an event that doesn't rerun, I think fighting Rusmontis was good fun. First she gets thrown in the dumpster for W, and now you get the opportunity to blow up the dumpster with W. From a sad cat to a homeless cat. 10 out of 10.